Yo guys, what's up? Back at another recap today. Sorry this one's gonna be a day late. I was driving up yesterday, ended up golfing, so as I mentioned, I had to drive up north to Kelowna to see my family, so I'm up here now making this video for yesterday, which was Friday the 15th, and as you can see, took a pretty big loss yesterday, unfortunately. I'm hoping my mic's working right now. I'm recording off my laptop, but if not, apologize for the shitty audio. But I did take 2 trades in the morning. As you can see here, I took one during Asia the day before. Same trade, I just added a contract, made $280. And in the morning I lost 3,000. So, well, a bit more than 3,000, but I lost the profit as well, which hit my daily loss limit, and I was done. So, minus 3,000 this account, minus 3,000 on this account, and one of my combines, I blew. The other one I took a win on in the morning, luckily, and the other one I took a loss as well, so I'm pretty damn close to my drawdown limit on this account. But one of the combines, we just need one more win, so hopefully get that passed. And what kind of messed me up on Friday, I didn't know about this. Like I tell you guys all the time, I'm still a new trader. I'm still learning things. And although I do make a decent amount of money, I still got a lot of stuff to learn. And I didn't know about this. It's called OPEX. I believe it happens on the 3rd week of every month on the Friday. And it stands for option expiration, which, like I said, is the 3rd Friday of every month, and basically that just makes the markets go to shit because traders must decide to exercise their contracts, close it, or lock in gains or losses, or let it expire as worthless, right? So that's happening, and there's just a lot of manipulation, and that was very clear on that session because, as you can see, it was just kind of disgusting, to be honest. But there was no news, and there wasn't anything really coming out of Trump or whatnot. So, kind of no news Friday with OPEX. Probably not a great day to trade. I probably should have just called it a day after I made that money in Asia, which we'll go over right now. And as you can see, coming into Asia, which was right here, we did have this unmitigated 4-hour fair value gap with the New York PM and New York AM lows there. And this trade, low-key, didn't go my way and almost got stopped out. It was pretty damn crazy. But coming into Asia, which was at 1700 up here. So we had this last 5-minute gap, and this gap kind of saved me, to be honest. I had my stops placed just above this, and we barely respected it, literally barely respected it, and we reversed down. But we kind of chopped around for a bit. I figured we pumped so much in New York, we're going to come down and mitigate some of these fair value gaps, right? We had this 15 as well here that we need to tap into. And like I said, the lows there, so I was pretty bearish. Ended up taking a short. I can find it here. Ended up taking a short pretty much right at Asia Open. And that was honestly not a great trade. We did sweep out a lot of liquidity on the way up, and we inversed all this here. And then we get a tap back into this 1 minute. So ended up entering right here, and like I said, my stops were just above this 5-minute gap, barely didn't get stopped out, and I was just targeting down to this low right here. So what ended up happening was go insanely close to getting stopped out after being a little bit in profit. We just get this big ass candle out of nowhere, come back up, barely respect that 5-minute, come back down into profit, miss my take profit by about, I want to say, 4 or 5 points, which would have been 2,000 bucks. Come up, stops me on profit there. Since we inverse this 1 minute, I was kind of done messing around after I was so much in drawdown, and ended up getting stopped out in profit there for 280 bucks. So that was my Asia trade, and realistically I should have just called it a day there. I was just unaware of OPEX. I thought it was just going to be a normal Friday, which obviously Friday's not always the best, but still I thought there was money making opportunities. And at this point we had inverse 15, we took this low, and we had came down into this 4-hour gap here, and we had tapped into it, and that leaves us with London highs, and then a few kind of low resistance lows there that we still didn't end up even taking out. And coming into market open, pretty choppy. Like I said, we had these lows right here within the 4-hour gap, and we end up tapping into the 4-hour gap right after market open. And what I saw was we get the inversion of this 15-minute gap right off market open, right in the 6:30 close. And I figured we had just grabbed a bunch of liquidity to the downside. I wasn't too worried about these lows. We did tap into the 4-hour gap. Everything should have been pretty bullish. I mean, we're trading towards all-time highs again. A mistake I definitely made was we didn't inverse this last 5 minute, and I ended up getting in right there. So ended up getting in pretty much right on the top here after we inverse that 15 right at market open. And that was kind of a bit of an early entry, but I didn't mind this trade. I just kind of got in a bit too fast, and I have my stops below this gap here, and I was aiming all the way up to London highs, which I thought should have got hit, and they did. I wasn't wrong, but we did chop around pretty hard for a good couple hours, like 3-4 hours, and in the process I got wrecked right here. That was a $2,500 loss. And then, like I said, we come down, we don't take the low, and then we kind of just rip up out of nowhere. So I did end up taking one more long after we come down, we take out this trend line liquidity. We get a 1 minute inversion back up, very strong displacement out of it. Again, I like this trade. And this one just didn't play out either. I didn't have much drawdown left, so realistically I was kind of screwed unless I bottom tick something, which wasn't going to happen. So not on today, that's for sure. And this next candle basically runs me out right away. Come down a little bit lower, and that is where we started to make the move. Trade of the day, I would say probably after we tap into that 3 minute gap, or 4-hour gap, sorry. There was a long opportunity kind of off that, but having these lows right here and not hitting them was kind of not great in my opinion. But maybe the best entry would have been after we had inversed that 5 minute. We get a bearish 5 minute here, entering right here maybe, and having your stops below this gap, targeting up to London highs. That was probably your best bet, but realistically there was not any good trades on Friday. It was just choppy as hell. Shorts off London high were pretty good as well, but that was very late in the day. That was until 11 o'clock, and on a Friday it's kind of risky because Friday usually dies down pretty hard. But we did get a pretty good move off of London high, to be honest. We did get a 300-point move off of London high. So if you were looking for shorts, there was a decent 5 minute inversion here, which was also a 15-minute inversion. You could have got back in this here maybe and just targeted down to I don't know, these bodies here, stops above this gap. You could have hit a 1 to 2.5, but realistically I probably would have targeted down to this low. That didn't end up hitting, so you would have had to close a bit early. I mean, you would have automatically got closed out anyways when market ended in pretty good profit. So that was a pretty good trade, but like I said, late in the day on a Friday, I don't think many people were even trading at that point. So the best move kind of happened after everything was done. And that being said as well, we did inverse everything on the way up, so I don't know. There wasn't really a single trade I liked personally on Friday. And like you can see on the 15-minute, it was just very manipulative. We were just up and down, up and down, up and down. So not a great day, but you know, it is what it is. We did take a loss, so still lots of drawdown, so lots of opportunities to get it back. And yeah, we'll come in next week stronger. Monday is a bank holiday in Canada. I have the day off. I'm not 100% sure if it is in the States. Financial juice. Yeah, I believe it's still a trading day in the States, so I don't think there should be anything wrong, but it is a no news Monday. Canadian bank holiday, so it might be kind of ass, to be honest, but we'll see. There's not much news next week, so might be a pretty good week, might be a pretty shit week. Kind of hard to say. On the higher time frames, we are kind of just chopping around right now. There is a 4-hour gap here. We'll see where we open on Sunday. See if we gap up or down or not, but there is a good chance we possibly go a bit lower, grab some of these lows, and then start making our way back up. But it's kind of hard to tell right now because Friday was so ass. So we'll see what happens, but I think I'm going to wrap this one up here. Sorry if the audio didn't work out. I have my microphone connected, but I'm not sure if it works on this laptop or not. So yeah, I'll be back to normal videos on Monday. I'll be back home, so just this one day of a crappy video. And yeah, so next week back to normal. Got to get back in the win column, get that buffer back up, get that combine passed, and yeah, we'll go from there. So that being said, and this one here, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe as usual, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.